If you've ever woken up on Monday morning and wished that it was still the weekend, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, folks. It's great to see a whole bunch of returning faces. Welcome back and happy Monday. We're going to have another week of market antics here. Let's go ahead and roll that intro.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
All right, welcome back, traders, to another episode of Live Trading. I hope that you had a great weekend. I hope that you're ready to attack the market here today. Joining me is going to be my main man, 13. How you doing, 13?
I'm doing all right. How are you this morning?
I'm doing all right. We're back at it here. I have a really short week. I have a one-day week today, so I'm doing about as good as it gets. Excited to see what we can find here today.
Yeah, I got a few things on the list, and it looks like chat's already bringing something to the table here. Good morning, chat.
Okay, nobody is surprised to see that. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the stuff going on before we get started. As a reminder, this stream is sponsored by Trade the Pool, the best prop firm out there. Huge pool of stocks for you to trade from. Ability to get your buying power above 260K and get above that pesky 25K day trading threshold for you newer traders out there. Okay, Alyssa says not jealous at all. Sorry about that. All right, let's go ahead and dive right into what it is that we're seeing here. We're going to start off with the SPY. We did have some big earnings last week that caused us to move down, but the buyers stepped in and took us to new highs. So SPY setting new all-time highs on Friday. We're about flat here today. I guess technically we're a little weaker in the pre-market, but fairly flat. So I really think that this could kind of turn around in either direction here. Not willing to say that we're actually going to come back in here today. We do have some more earnings coming later here this week. But I think that the big move here is going to be on the backs of the earnings that we had from last week. So we had a lot of huge ones: Meta, Amazon, Apple, Google, all of that. So 13, you got any outlook here for the SPY just in general?
Well, I don't know how much higher we're going to keep going, but I haven't actually taken a look at SPY this morning because I've been trying to find some movers this morning. We seem to be into to a bit of a rising wedge here, so I'm going to be looking for the price to fall out of that. And if and when it does, I anticipate there to be more downside. So I'll just keep you updated with that as it happens.
Okay, sounds good to me. Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat here, 13. I'm really kind of waiting for the market to pull back. I know we've been in this situation before where we're kind of waiting for a sell-off. Maybe we get it, maybe we won't get it. To me, I'm definitely waiting for the market to pull back here, maybe late February. I mean, I know we're getting close here. It's the beginning of February. We got the Super Bowl happening this weekend. Maybe after that, we start a move back in as we get some of these earnings under our belt. But last time that we waited for the market to come back in, it really didn't come back in. It went back and forth, came in a little bit, and then raced to new highs. So this time around, if that's going to happen, going to have a plan in case we continue to keep breaking out. Just can't chase some of this movement here. So any stocks that you want to take a look at, or should I just start rolling through some of the movers tool or the movers stocks that we see here this morning?
Well, I did notice that some of the ones that are being mentioned in chat, I also had on my list this morning. We can start with ADVM because I was curious about this. I mentioned this to you just before the show started. Mm-hmm. They did an offering, private placement offering for $127 million, and they're selling 106.25 million shares at a price of $120 a share. So we're above that now, but that seems like a lot of it's going to be a lot of shares. Looking at the float, we have already have 100 shares there. So I'm not sure we're going to get the movement. We definitely could, but I'm not sure we're going to get the movement we usually see in some of these smaller names with lower floats, where they just easily get pushed around. So that's my concern with this one. And I don't really have it on my list to trade. Doesn't mean we can't trade it. Might have some pretty good price action this morning, but I have some other lower float ones that I'm interested in.
Yeah, and just looking at ADVM here, really looks like 170 is going to be the spot of note right away, right out of the open here. We did pop higher here. We're kind of holding where we're at, slightly above the VWAP here. Your point about the shares is well taken. Really, for this to start going, to me, it looks like 170 needs to fall and then maybe take out this pre-market high. I've got that at 178. We'll see if we end up getting that here today. Volume looks pretty good, at least so far, but we're going to need to see some more of those volume sticks to really get this going here.
Yeah.
So we'll see. This one is definitely on the list. It's going to need some action here to really get moving.
And we can also talk about one other one that's been brought up that I am interested in. I think we may have also traded this before. CAMP.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This one doesn't appear to have any news, but it does have a 1.63 million float, and they just did a reverse split on Friday on the 2nd. I believe EKS mentioned that earlier too. Yeah, they did. So he had some great points about this. Still burning cash, and he also mentioned CMND as well. We traded that before as well. Both of these great trading vehicles. Don't even think I want to take a look at them for an investment. Not at all. These are just moving around today, and we're going to capture that.
Yeah, and this actually significantly beneath the VWAP here. Maybe there's a move back here on Camp. You know, I feel like maybe this has changed tickers, but I feel like years ago this was a 3D printing name. I feel like I've traded this before, but I don't have the feel that I want to have for one of these. We'll see on this. Good mention of that reverse split. We have seen a lot of those run. Definitely not investment. Definitely just kind of trading. Another one here. I'm just going to roll through a couple of these on the list here that I noticed that are popping here. First one here is going to be CHEA, and this is definitely one that I have no experience with. I don't think I've ever even pulled this ticker up. This is Changi Acquisition. This did pop as high as 16. It's really kind of come back in beneath the VWAP at 11, holding at about 1080 right here. I am not even really sure what this is. Changi Acquisition Company is a newly incorporated blank check from formed of the purpose of effecting a merger, share execution, asset acquisition, share purchase, reorganization with one or more businesses. To me, this doesn't. SPAC.
And it's moving because it's picking up Taiwan Color Optics. So
okay, so there you go. I don't know. To me, that still feels risky. What kind of risk level would you associate with this one?
Well, the thing is that these things de-SPAC, and then when that happens, it's going to really take the price down. Until that happens, I mean, I don't even think I want to touch these.
Exactly. Until it's de-SPAC'd, I think the risk level here is high. I know we're moving here today. Just be very, very careful with this one. 13 just gave you really the most important part of these SPACs. If you're going to trade these SPACs, it's almost that you have to wait for them to de-SPAC before they become possible logs. So we'll see. CHEA moving here today, probably a no touch.
And then there's another one. Oh, yeah, you just brought it up. Perfect. This one's up on phase 2 data. They have a pretty decently low float, 2.88 million. And they have not a high short interest. It's just under 9%, but they do have 8.25 days to cover. So that makes it a little bit interesting. We could see a bit of squeezing here with this one if it's not already doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. This one definitely interesting here. This is ticker FDMT. And as you mentioned about the short interest there, it's not a whole lot of its float shorted, but a high days to cover. What did you say? Just about 4 million float in there. So still fairly thin.
2.8
to 2.8. Excuse me.
It's pretty thin.
Excuse me. So, and then the news that we had here was over the weekend, right? F4DMT presents positive interim data for randomized phase 2 PRISM clinical trial, demonstrating favorable tolerability and clinical activity in wet AMD. So, this is another one of those eye conditions, right? So, not necessarily like eye point, but wet AMD. That's an eye condition, if I'm not mistaken. What?
You might be right. I don't know.
Yeah, wet macular degeneration. Yes, that's exactly what it is. And we actually see some of these commercials on TV for stuff like that. So interesting. We've got good phase 2 data here. That's causing the stock to pop. This actually not one of your penny stocks either. This hovering right at about $32 actually looks like this could make a run at 32, maybe even $33, and then get wild if we do have some continued trading in this one. So looks a little bit thin. Good PR here. Good action here in the pre-market. FDMT, keep this one on your radar. This might actually go here today.
Yeah, and then the only other two that I have, and if I could just really quickly could address Kevin's question, DWAC in play. I think it's in play until the
Let's take a look at it. We can pull it up. We got plenty of time before the market opens here. Let's take a look at it.
I think this thing is always going to be in play to some degree until the election's over, and maybe even after, it's still going to be in play. I think as long as Trump gets attention, this is going to be in play, and there's more attention coming this week in the form of Nevada primaries. So
yeah, and to be quite honest with you, this was relatively flat. The stock was relatively flat, and then all of a sudden we had some action with these primaries and with some of these runs. And look what happens to the stock price. Now, by the way, we're also getting PHUN to move along with DWAC here. So I think that you're right. With the election year coming up here, there might be periods where this stock lulls a little bit, 13. But overall, I think that you're going to have multiple batches of headlines at different times throughout the course of the year that's going to cause this stock to have to put in all types of formations like this. And just looking at the daily formation here, it sure looks like it's got some more strength, right? This is a nice big pop up to near 60. We've really kind of come back in off of that. Sure looks like we want to take out 42 here and move higher. It looks like a curl and a move higher. Now, I don't know this movement that we're talking about based on some of the catalysts that have come out. I don't know, shoulder shrug emoji there, but looking at the chart formation, sure looks like this thing wants to keep rolling. So we've traded this one a number of times. I'm sure if we get good setups on this one, we will trade it again. But Kevin, much like RVSN, which maybe we should take a look at here again, this is in play until it isn't anymore. So keep that in mind. You're going to see that. Thank you, Alyssa, with the ASCII shoulder shrug there. We'll take that one. Let's take a look at RVSN because that was a big one over these past couple of days. We've had everything from the infrastructure, the Inflation Reduction Act, maybe causing this to run to just kind of, general trading action. RVSN getting rolling here again today, right? We are popping to the highs on volume. Now we've come in a little bit. Looks like the highs that we put in were about 1390. If we take a look at a 15-minute chart and get an idea of where we were last week, first of all, a couple of things that you're going to notice. Number one, volume kind of muted here. We'll see what happens when the market actually opens. Of course, I believe this is Thursday. Volume was not great on Thursday or on Wednesday or on Friday. So we really would like to see some outsized volume to kind of bring this back. And then the other thing that you'll notice here is as we started to come back in, we really just kind of stayed in this range. So this pop here has cleared out some of it, but realistically speaking, for this thing to really get going like it was the last couple of times we were trading it, I'd love to see this get above 16. I don't know if it's going to do that in one session. Might have to attract eyeballs by having one good session and then bringing in some of those relative volume session in the relative volume traders in the session afterwards. I beg your pardon. So we'll see here on RVSN. It is popping though. It is popping this morning. So we'll see what the scanner tells us when the market actually opens here.
If there's, still want to talk about what's moving, GRDI. This one I'm not really sure about. I just noticed that it had a recent IPO based on the chart that I could bring up with it. It doesn't have a low float though. It's just under 30 million. I think the whole thing here with this one is that it's a bit of a bounce off the sell-off from the IPO. If you bring up like a daily chart, you can see how we've kind of sold off. And I think this might just be an RSI bounce, even though we're not getting a whole lot of data in this chart. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
Grid infrastructure. I don't know that I've heard of this one. I think you're right. Maybe this is just kind of a seller exhaustion bounce that we get on it. This might actually necessitate a little bit more digging. We'll see if we can do that here today. I'll be honest. Yeah, I already think that there are some other catalysts or some other issues that we could trade that are probably a little bit better than this one. So we'll see here on GRDI if this even makes the list. We'll see what happens when the market actually opens here. But you're right, 13. I think that this is probably just looking for its bottom, right? Maybe this is just one of those bounces on the way back down.
Yeah, that's really all I could gather from that one.
And I mean, even if we look at this initial move here, right? So we've had 2 pops in the morning. We've pretty much bled all that back. We're almost back to balance. We're about 15 cents away from where we started all of this here in the morning. So this might be gone. What else did you have there? I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No worries. The only other one I was looking at was GHM, and that's on earnings. They have a just under 9 million float. I really don't know about this one being a huge mover like the other ones. GHM.
GHM. I had GHN. Okay, this is Graham. Okay.
So this is off earnings. Just about under 9 million float. Nothing really else to go on. Not even sure if it's worth the trade. I think there's some other things that are being mentioned in chat that are much more interesting to look at.
Okay. Well, staying on those earnings, some of the bigger earnings here that happened today, we might as well just talk about them real quick.
Sure.
We did have McDonald's report today. They're down about 2% here. Conference call is currently in progress. Notice that McDonald's did actually pop a little bit. We've really kind of given up those gains. It'll be interesting to see if we kind of have that for the rest of the market here today. Do we actually have some weakness after the market opens? The other big stock that reported this morning was Caterpillar, and this is one that we've talked about quite a bit in the happy hour. I know there are a lot of people that have been looking at some of these, especially when you talk about, infrastructure. Where is the spending going to go? Caterpillar and Deere, 2 of the better stocks that we've talked about with potential longer term positions here. This company has been really, really strong. So they reported earnings here. You can see on the daily chart, even if we go to like a monthly chart here, continued breakout at all-time highs here. Cat going absolutely vertical. The one thing on the daily chart here, you're looking at about an 80 RSI. Last time it was up here, it was when it was setting new highs, and we've actually taken another leg up here. I would like for this, I'd like to wait to actually buy this for a swing. I don't really want to chase when the stock's up nearly 6% on the backs of earnings, but this stock has not given you a lot of opportunities to add lower. Every time it goes lower, it doesn't even look back. It reverses and doesn't even look back.
You're right. And it might even be that if it doesn't pull back to where you can get a good entry, there might be an opportunity in some ETFs that has this in. That hasn't run quite yet. Not sure which ones those are. That's just something I'm thinking about because, I'd like to be in that too, but not at this price.
Yeah, I'm with you on there. The other big stock that reported earnings here today, shout out Lynn and Randy who mentioned this earlier in the chat, Tyson. This is a favorite stock. I've been watching and trading Tyson for a long time. I have no position and no exposure. 13, the last time, this is another stock that we've broken down quite a bit on happy hour for the potential of longer term trades. The last time that we had like a consensus discussion, we were waiting for low 40s for a potential swing long. I know that you grabbed a little bit of them. Low 40s didn't quite get there. I think I had a low print here at about 45 or just under 45. I was trying to be a little bit more conservative. I think my target range in there was about 42 to 43. I never got it. When it started to turn around, I said, maybe we'll retest these lows. Thing turned around and never looked back here. We're trading higher this morning after the company reported better than expected Q1 results and issued guidance. So we did pop as high as 59.60. We're back in at about 58.5 here. So we'll see if Tyson actually gives these gains up, but sure looks pretty good on a daily chart here, right? The last big kind of gap down to this area sure looks like we've maybe traded around that. Looks like we're closing that gap. Opportunity to do that here today. If we take a look at a longer time frame here, sure looks like that bottom has been put in, right? Sure looks like we came off this 45 bottom. So maybe a little bit too conservative of a swing long target, but it's great to see Tyson doing what we thought it was going to do, frankly. This is a protein producer. We really don't think it's going anywhere. I understand sometimes they have problems, but I'm sorry to have missed this one. Sorry to miss this one on the way up.
I think you're still going to get some opportunities to get a good price in here. The thing I noticed about this is that this morning we went up all the way to our 2022 lows. we got those 22 lows put in by employees quitting and a winter storm suspended operations during that time. So we're right up to that level right now. And the interesting thing about this stock is that since we got into this broadening wedge that I've been talking about for the longest time in 2016, every time that it does a death cross, it follows through with that death cross. And every time that it does a golden cross, it follows through with that golden cross. We just golden crossed. So I'm anticipating that we're probably going to see more upside in this. But I believe that there will be a pullback prior to that. So I'm expecting there to retest the 50, maybe the 200-day SMA first, and then we'll get that bullish move up to higher prices. That's just what I'm looking for right now. Yes, I am halfway into the position that I wanted to. Was looking for more under, like you said, underneath 40. We didn't get there. Maybe something else does it that takes us down, but it doesn't look like we're going down anytime soon, unless something else happens that I'm just not seeing.
Okay, good stuff there on Tyson. I really appreciate that golden cross. That was actually something I hadn't checked out, but great mention there, 13. We'll take a look and see if Tyson actually makes sense for maybe a swing long here today. I think there was someone earlier was mentioning BRTX. This is biorestorative therapeutics here this morning. They did pop, got as high as 467, really have bled back a lot of those gains. Did have a catalyst here. Biorestorative Therapies presents preliminary clinical data from phase 2 study for its chronic lumbar disc disease. So had a nice PR here that was pushing it. We've really kind of given a lot of that back. We'll see if this sets up for a potential trade during the market here, but worth noting this did pop and really kind of give everything back so far here today.
A low float of 3.8 million. So that one shouldn't have too hard of a time getting moved around. Definitely have that one in play.
Absolutely. Rick, good to see you this morning, mentioning CDIO here. This did pop about as high as 288. It's come back in. We've already made one run back towards the VWAP. We've also done a really good job holding this area here, drop dead low here of about 234. So we'll see on CDIO. This one I've traded before, would expect to trade this again here and trade the pool today. We'll see if it can actually defend those lows. CDIO has one of those where it feels like maybe the bigger move might come a little bit in the afternoon, perhaps after we're off the air here. So keep that one on your radar. John, good morning. It's great to see you here this morning. You too, Born?
I saw the mention on Boeing.
Boeing, man.
I posted something in the happy hour chat really early this morning because that's when the news hit that they during their own investigation they found about 50 aircraft that had misdrilled holes in their fuselage. They weren't to spec, so now they have to go back and fix that. I guess it's better that they caught it and not the FAA or had some problem while in flight. I guess that's the only positive, but this is pulling the stock down this morning, and I think the conversation is we're going to be testing 200.
Can't wait to jump on an airplane tomorrow morning after all of this talk about all this stuff with airplanes. It's awesome, folks. You're right here about Boeing, though. You're right in pretty much everything you said there. It's best that they caught it. Obviously, any of these things, it's best that they catch them. But the earlier they catch them, the better. As far as the stock goes here, we've actually seen a pretty supreme defense of the $200 level over the past couple of weeks when the news started coming in about Boeing and the whole plug and all of that stuff. Really, really done a good job against 200 here. For me, this is going to tell the story, right? This is going to tell the story. If we can continue to defend 200, maybe we can bounce and we can hit some of these other levels here. Some of those other levels, by the way, include 230, 240, and even 260. But before we do that, we really need to there's a lot of bad news floating around here on Boeing, and we need to make sure that the stock's going to firm up. If it doesn't, I think this could easily crack 200. And if that happens, I think 180 test definitely on deck.
I'm on the side that it does break 200 because when you have this many attempts to test it and try to get beneath it,
bingo.
Like we've already had 3 attempts within the past month Now we're coming up with a fourth today, potentially. I don't feel good about the constant attacking of this 200 level. It's going to crack at some point, and could be today. Maybe it's sometime this week, but I don't like the constant attacking that's going to happen. It's going to give way, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% on there. I just can't tell you when that's going to happen, 13. I feel exactly the same way. Okay, real quick here. Palantir, one thing I wanted to mention, we do open in less than a minute here. Palantir actually reports earnings after hours today. So keep that in mind if we go ahead and trade that here today. I'm going to bring up my scanner. Let me also bring up Trade the Pool here, and let's have a day, folks.
Let's go.
Let's have a day.
Well, we're open in FDMT. Looks like it's trying to blast off out of the gate. I should have been setting some levels in some of these instead of running my mouth.
Okay, so BRTX looks like it had a little bit of a spike around the open here. You know what? Let me flip over to Trade the Pool. And there we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, and by the way, as far as Trade the Pool goes, we're still carrying that TGTX swing that is working. Have made no changes to that one. Would really actually like to see a push above 17 and maybe 18 here, and we can shave half of that position and continue to book gains on the way up. Now, let's take a look at some of the other stocks that are moving around. ADVM, which we had here from the list. I don't see any of you mention it yet. This is so far defending the VWAP. We'd like to see that. Here's Camp. This really hasn't done anything yet. BRTX, we talked about that first initial spike. Looks like it got kind of sold into here. BRTX, we'll see. What else do we have here?
It looks like, sorry, it just looks like FDMT is really trying to crack 32. So if you're trading that one, that's a level to watch out for, in my opinion. Sorry.
Yep. No, don't be sorry. This is great.
And also, Bitcoin is doing okay this morning. Maybe keep the Bitcoin names on your radar: Mara, Riot, MSTR, CLSK, those kinds. It's been holding 43 pretty decently. If we can continue to move up, then those would be in play as well.
FDMT here really kind of holding in. It's really spread.
Yeah, it's starting to get pushed back down, but that 32 level, in my opinion, is a break level.
And we have a catalyst here, right? That's the other thing that's got me liking this. I understand that spread, which I don't want to see. I'd rather have this really be kind of tightened up, but maybe this is something we try here on a Monday. Do we get crazy on Monday early, the day before vacation 13? Is that a good idea?
I don't think it's ever a good idea to get crazy, but if the risk makes sense, then go for it. Don't give yourself a case of Mondays.
Okay, I appreciate how adult you were right there, right in my moment of weakness. You brought in some adult vibes.
BRTX is starting to move up now. I think it's trying to go back up towards the pre-market levels.
Yep, I think you're right here.
You got some. All right, let's see. Yeah, Y10. Got some mentions there in the chat about Y10.
Y10. Okay, we'll take a look at that too. Not in anything, so I can flip around right here. Great. Y10's a penny stock, but that one is moving here.
Webcoin, I'll get an answer for you in just a second.
I'm gonna flip away from the penny stock. Sorry, guys.
Let's see. Reverse split. I can tell you right now, it's a very low float. Yes, it is a reverse split as of today. VLCN. 1 for 45 reverse split. Oh
man, BRTX. That was whoever called this one here. That was a move right up to the VWAP and a straight up rejection at the VWAP. That was the trade right there. Right out of the open, that was the trade right there.
Wow, that was a big jump up with VLCN in the pre-market. I don't even know what this is. Aside from the reverse split, I don't know what this is about. This is in the automobile industry. Oh, electric off-road power sports vehicle. These aren't really in favor, the EV section as of now, but the fact that it's reverse split is definitely, in my opinion, why it's moving. It also has very low float, just over 250,000 float. That's very low. So there's a whole lot of potential for this to move around today. Absolutely. What are we up to? 4,700%?
And I'm sorry, I was handling something here. Which ticker?
VLCN.
VLCI. I think I just brought that one up temporarily.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
CMND is running. Another one that we've mentioned before, or traded before, actually. Yeah. Looks like they have a good amount of sell orders at 220. So there's going to be some resistance there. Rail Vision has not gotten back up to that 13 level and that did in pre-market. FDMT is still trying to come back and break that 32. Actually, it did crack 32 briefly. This might be going here. FDMT. Yep, there we go. See ya. Going up to the pre-market highs of 32.91 now. Might come back in for another move.
This was a monster.
This
was a monster call, 13. You were on this one here from the beginning.
That 32 level, that looked pretty good. We got to move over it now. And now we're making new highs.
You know what else that this says? This says that we should have got crazy the day before vacation. We should have got crazy the day before vacation and gone in there. All jokes aside, the risk to reward here was actually really good. We outlined that. Amazon is down. Born. I actually took a butterfly for a potential move up there on Amazon. That goes out till May. So swing long here on Amazon for me. Small via some options. Like I said, we talked last week about bringing Anne Marie on for an option segment, really looking to expand some of the option content of this show. Stay tuned for that next week when I'm back here. Trying to do some of those myself here. Still long Amazon. Feel real good about this, but first move here is down today.
Looks like BRTX.
Netflix.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying Netflix was popping here. I noticed that BRTX.
Yeah, it's trying to get on over VWAP and stay over it. It's pushing, but it's not really getting the volume that it needs to move up more.
Yeah,
interesting.
This was just straight up rejected at the VWAP. The trade here was out of the consolidation area that you mentioned right around the open, right into the VWAP. It didn't even try to print above it. As soon as it got there, it was rejected.
I don't think it's done yet, though. It just needs to get that volume to come in. It might just not be noticed right away. There's some other things that are moving right now that may have the attention of traders. So, yeah, look at that FDMT went all the way up to 33.91. What a move!
KPTI kind of curled. This is low volume, but curled right out of the open up to that pre-market high. This is one to watch here. You were saying FDMT 13. Let's take a look at that one here. That looks like that stopped. What was that? Around 34? Yeah, stopped right around 34 though.
Yeah, that might be setting up for the next move. This thing does look like it's going to try to go higher. How high? I'm not sure. I don't have levels on this one. And I apologize if I talk really fast.
Hey man,
the coffee's hitting me hard today,
dude. It is a beautiful thing.
Looks like we had a pop and drop with Zim. For that one, I'll be waiting for that to get into 13.
Let me bring Zim up here because I actually have no position in that one. Would be looking for some re-entry here. Remember when we were talking about this trading above 15 and I was like, missed that trigger. Well, here we go. Pull back to 13. Let's see if we can get some ads below 13. Last ad for you was what, a 1290 handle? Was it right below 13, I feel like?
Yeah, that's when I got a fill. I tried to get a fill at 1250, but even though the price was touching that level, it didn't. I didn't get filled. I believe some other folks didn't as well. So, you get what you can get with sometimes with these. All right, it looks like BRTX is actually breaking out now. I felt that this wasn't done yet, but I just it was just getting that constant rejection from VWAP. Now we're through it. I still think this has the potential to go higher, but don't know when that's going to be.
Really has to show that break here. But you know what? I'm on this one with you here. We'll see if these sellers get exhausted and maybe we can take some of this again.
It's not encouraging that twice now we're getting these big wicks on the top from the rejection of VWAP. I don't like it when I see these large upper shadows. So
yeah, but you see, but look what just happened right there. This was the same thing that happened last time too. I'm actually going to throw an order out here and see if I can get filled there.
get it.
Let's see. I did. Yes, I did get filled there. Okay, awesome. So 343. What I was seeing there is what happened was is as soon as it came in, it looks like those sellers kind of disappeared and it spread back out as if it was going to kind of hold and reverse there. And if that's the case, if the buyers stay on the bid here and we can't break down through this consolidation area here, what do I have that at? About 315 with an absolute low of what, 301 here? We can hold this consolidation area. This VWAP still in play here. We'll see though.
Yeah. This is your supply or your demand area. If such a price is above that now, where you're going to see more buying happen, and that's what you're going to want to have to rely on if you're going to get above VWAP. Is it this buying activity down here? We've had it in pre-market, and then we popped and dropped. Now we have it in pre-market again, and now we're out of the gate with that. So
exactly. And as far as entry goes, this is where I want to buy it, not up at that VWAP where it's really kind of shown that intraday resistance. I'll wait and try to buy it on a pullback. Let's see where the entry is. Remember, mine here 343 looks like the low on this pull 340. So we'll see if this one works here. BRTX long for a potential trade. Keep looking around at some of the other stuff out here.
Looks like Camp's trying to get going. CAMP. RVSN pushing back up over 13. This one actually might break out over about 1375 ish. That looks like it's the level that I have there. We get up there and push. I mean, it's starting to move now. RVSN. Yeah,
I have 1380 as the top of the high there. Here we go, right through the highs in the regular session. This is what we wanted to see. 13. Here we go. Here's the start of it. Are you long this one? Did you take this one? No position for me. Okay.
No, I didn't. It's really hard with these how spready these can be that you just don't have a good idea of where the entry is. I mean, some people are going to be able to just be like, oh, there's the entry and just get it right away. When it's moving around like this, I'm just like, okay, well, maybe this goes down, maybe this goes up. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. I think we're going to break out here, though, so I'm not going to chase it.
Y10, by the way, the penny stock that you guys mentioned earlier, that continuing towards the high here. Couple other things that you guys were mentioning. NYCB here, that did dip out of the open, but looks like there are some buyers on that. That, of course, had news last week. Let's take a look here at BRTX, which is the position that I'm in. Looks like this is moving lower here. Not what we wanted to see here.
No,
not
but GRDI
what we
is
wanted
moving
to see here. Here's your GRDI. Looks like this is kind of this right back at VWAP. Let's see what GRDI does here at VWAP. You guys mentioning plug. We talked a lot about that last week here. How's plug looking? Plug just really kind of diving here today. Let me go back to GRDI.
CHEA is halted. I think that was the acquisition.
That was. Yep, that sure was. That's halted to the downside, by the way. Halted to the downside, Aramis.
Gross.
ON, by the way, ON Semiconductor. This was actually on the list here from Trade the Pool. So I would imagine that Michael is probably in here trading this name here. Let me get you those. I actually had that here. We didn't cover the Trade the Pool graphic, but Trade the Pool here for ON has resistance at 77. Looks like we took that off. Support at 73. So at the high end of the area here on ON.
All right, we're at a looks like BRTX is at a level that it needs to hold so it doesn't see more downside. Do you have a stop in this?
Not yet. My stop, I have just kind of a mental thing. It's going to be right around 3 on the absolute dead low. But honestly, if we lose 320 here, I would not feel great about it.
Yeah.
NVO all-time highs. Jay mentioning that Oprah pushed this at the Grammys. Wow. Okay, so Novo Nordisk, they recently reported earnings traded up. This is the whole weight loss drug. We've been talking about this for a long time. I don't watch the Grammys. I, of course, wouldn't waste my time with that, Jay. But so when you said that she pushed it, what can you give us any more on that? I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised. BRTX looks like I'm out of luck here. Nope, it's really got to hold this 321. You know what? 13. Let me see here.
Yeah, it just looks like that's that big old
Oh,
bid
it was
area
a
is going to
joke.
get eaten up.
Dude, how am I supposed to know that, dude? Come on. I like this comment, Big Bill. Whatever happened to exercise? Did it retire? Definitely not. That's my method. Good old fashioned exercise is still my method instead of injections.
Let's see. RSVN still trying to push up. It came up to that, pretty close to that 1375 area. Not quite through it yet, but getting close. Still moving.
Here's ADVM. That ripping here, QN looks like ADVM. That was the big mover here. The dip and rip right through the VWAP. Nice job. 13. What was the ticker that you were looking at here? ADVM, by the way, 2 has some size here.
Oh, it was Rail Vision. I'm just
RVSN. Sorry.
Yeah, just watching that one make its way up, and it's looking like it's going to break through 1375 pretty soon here.
Diet and exercise saving me $1,000 a month on a fat pill. Yo, you can make exercise fun too. That's the other thing. That's the other thing. I mean,
sports.
Yeah, exactly. Call them sports. But even if you're doing something like an aerobic workout, like, walking or running or treadmill, get some music, get a podcast in there, get an audiobook, get it in there and do 2 things at once. Really kind of helped for me.
Look at looks like our
starvation works well too. You guys are bringing out all the jokes on a Monday morning.
That's a whole new sport.
13. You're something else. You know that.
That's what I hear. Would like
BRTX. Let's see if we can hold in here. If we lose this 321, I think at this point I'm probably going to set the stop.
Yeah, it'd probably be a good idea to set a stop. I don't like the way. I mean, those wicks were already telling us that we probably shouldn't be looking at that one. And we're about to get some EMA crossings to the downside, which aren't ever good.
Yeah, we're just going to not let it go through here. We'll see if we can actually bounce off of this. I was hoping that buying the pull was going to give me another snap back towards the VWAP. Didn't get it though, so we'll end it before it gets uglier if it doesn't work out here.
Yeah, but it's still holding up. So, and we could get a move back up. Like it's starting to climb. If we get back up to above 330, it looks like okay, well, here we go. We're starting to move up now.
Yep.
Looking
like
good.
I said, we'll wait. We're in there. That's why using risk reward is always going to be your friend here.
Yeah. Let's see if we can keep pushing up. It's a lot of good time and sales coming through here with all these buys. And then
how is Meta doing from yesterday or from last week? Meta. Yes. So Johnny's saying here, Zuckerberg must be pissed. I mean, this is just kind of taking a break. This has had a huge move. I'm not even ready to say that this is the turnaround. We talked maybe about a potential blow off top in Meta, maybe a potential really good short setting up. I'm not even there yet. This thing was so strong the last couple of days. Give me a couple of weekdays here to see how the stock behaves before we start talking about that. I'm not trying to jump in front of a train. It's rolling down the tracks.
Yeah,
BRTX, maybe we did find that bottom 13.
Maybe it is holding up with the EMA 65 on the 5-minute is holding up pretty well. That's where the support is in this, but also it's in that demand zone. So this is, it's holding up pretty well. Just going to be one of those things where if you're already in this, maybe raise the stop so you don't lose more than it already kind of gave back. Looking like it's going to be okay though.
Big Bill saying I could have bought a long time ago for under 200, but I boycotted Facebook. Yeah, I did the same thing. I don't like Facebook, Meta, Facebook, whatever they call it, the old site. I mean, whatever. Not a fan. But nonetheless, still have to be able to trade it objectively, and definitely missed Meta.
And then BRTX just got pulled down.
We'll see if we stop and then go here.
CAMP might be pushing up. Still not able to. Oh, here we go. Now it's starting to push even more.
CAMP.
Yeah, 484 is the pre-market high. Whether or not we get back up to that level, not sure. It'd be nice to see 4 though.
When it IPO'd, I was in business school for an MBA degree, and we voted that it was going to fail regarding Meta. That's how it goes.
Looks like BRTX is still trying to get back above that 65 EMA. Rail Vision through and up above 14. There it goes.
Nice breakout. Nice call on Rail Vision there. Like we've been saying, it's not over till it's over, and it ain't over.
Yeah, sometimes it just takes, a break. FDMT, it came back in from that 33.91 high that it made out of the open, and now it's trying to come back up and test that again. This one might not be done either.
Going for another leg here. Wow.
Russell's pushing the whole market down. Well, I guess with all the sentiment for March rate cuts out the window, we're starting to get some of that show up in the IWM. Yeah.
IWM definitely leading the way down here.
What else? What's everybody else trading?
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking around at some of the other stocks here. Here's DWAC. DWAC's really not doing a whole lot of anything here.
Oh, the warrants are up 50%. That's incredible. I haven't really done a whole lot of education on warrants. I know about them. I know how they work, but trading them is a different animal, and I don't have that skill yet. But if you are trading them and you're making money off them, that's just music to my ears.
Fun on the run. Fun on the run. I love it.
We should call it a sport.
VWAP.
Yeah, look at Camp. It's really starting to get going now. I think we try to might make a move up to 4, and then it could come back in a little bit. Just something to watch for in Camp, CAMP.
Rum getting mentioned. Another dip and rip here on Rum. This stock's been doing this a lot. When this sells off out of the open, let's keep this on our watch list here. When Rum sells off out of the open, it often bounces like this. Maybe we can give ourselves a tradable range on that. Eli Lilly at the highs here. That was at the high. So is NVO. So all those weight loss drugs post Grammys here at the highs.
How funny is that? Oh, there goes FDMT. New highs. Woohoo.
BRTX looks like I might have been early on that. FDMT. This is the one I said. Man, that is a frustrating start. Frustrating start again.
So Rail Vision's coming back in. I think at this point now we'd be looking at 1375 for support. Let's see if that's what we get.
I've got 1341 as your VWAP here on Rail Vision. I think it could easily come back to that level. The interesting note about that is that that's slightly above the breakout level earlier, about what, 1330-ish. I've got this at 1326, it looks like. Right in there where it broke that first shelf here. VWAP right above it.
Can't hold a little bit.
Tyson printed above 60 here.
Looks like BRTX is trying to push now.
Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it. The stocks generally act better once they kind of shake out some of those initial hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why you see some of these later moves, whether it be later in the morning or maybe even in the afternoon. I think that's why some of them are stronger. Some of those weekends that are kind of just playing for the open have already moved on from it. Maybe that's what happens here in BRTX. We'll see.
Next level for me in Rail Vision is going to be 1560. So, excuse me. That's if we keep getting these up moves, that's the next target. At least that's one I have. Yeah, I just don't know about BRTX. It's just so slow moving right now. And what, we're
Three.
going to get a pop all of a sudden.
Hey, I mean, I'll take that there. I'll take that there.
Oh, wow. CMND. Who was playing that? That one had a nice, it's just
Look
kind
at
of whipping around.
SMCI 13. This is continuing to go vertical here out of the open. SMCI.
Yeah. I have a hard time looking at that one because I can't wrap my head around it. Why are we still going up?
Me either, dude. I'm with you 100% on that. Hey, misery loves company. You know what I can that at least that's what we could say. CMND was the other one that you were looking at, right?
Yeah, that one just keeps moving around pretty well. It's got a bit of a spread on it, about a 10-cent spread on it. All right. Still waiting to see if CAMP does
Hey, office assistant, what are you doing? Yeah, you're gonna go for the bird. He's not doing his daily tasks. He's hunting. That's not fun.
Looks like BRTX is trying to crack VWAP again.
Okay. This is why I didn't want to add it at VWAP, right? Because VWAP has proven to be resistance. Yeah. Let's turn that former resistance into support by rolling through it. That would be great. Jay Wild, FDMT 35 and out. Jay, great stuff here on this one. You were on that break of what was that 33.50. Jay's like, come on, 35. You had a clear target in there. I should have just taken this with you, Jay. Should have taken this with you, Jay. Great trade here this morning.
So you got a VWAP bounce, an ADVM.
Yep. It's got a whole. It's in the process of holding it right here. Let's see if this can actually. I got size at 199, a little bit more at 2. Let's just call that the area there. Now we've broken beneath the VWAP here, ADVM. Jay says he likes money. Look, that's all the motivation that you need.
You might be in the right spot.
You might be in the right spot, Jay.
Yeah, if you don't like money, this show might not be for you.
Tesla down to that 182 level. Maybe a potential bounce spot here for Tesla. What do you think, Lynn and Randy? Because of the Tesla aces. Lynn and Randy, let me ask you a question. What were the NHL All-Star festivities over the weekend? I tried to find some of them and I couldn't. There was something on Friday, but I didn't see anything on Saturday or Sunday. Let me know if you checked any of that out. I might have just straight up missed it. I had golf lessons on Saturday.
Looking for the next setup. I mean, FDMT might not be done, but it could get some pullback here a little bit. It just had a nice big pop, but it's not looking like it's finished.
Charlie mentioned Tesla puts earlier. You know, the big things that I saw, NVIDIA calls. There have been calls all over the place on NVIDIA. I did see some CCJ calls, by the way, too. I know they were talking about CCJ. Jay, you said that these were earnings coming up here on CCJ. 3 days. So it's going to be Thursday before the market opens. That is the morning that the Waste Management Open starts, by the way. It'll be fun. I know it's going to rain, but I'm looking to try and get a suite. So we'll see. Fingers crossed.
BRTX back up to VWAP and trying to go higher.
Well, let's go, dude. Let's go, BRTX.
This might be a little bit of one of those late movers, but
well, hey, you know what?
The volume's not great though. Is the only thing.
But that can change in a heartbeat. Let's get that volume right now to take us through the VWAP, and then patience will have worked for me on this one.
Are you raising your stop?
Not yet, because we haven't cleared that VWAP yet. I want to clear this VWAP. If we can clear this VWAP, I'll definitely raise my stop. If not, I think we're probably coming back down to this area, don't you?
That support area, I mean, yeah. I don't know how long we're going to hang out in there.
And here comes the pull. Here comes the pull. Here comes the pull.
Yeah.
Oh, that offer got hit. We'll see. We'll see on this. Yeah. Lynn mentioning we caught the All-Star replay on Sunday. Preds Philip Forsberg is a superstar. Yeah, he's a really good player. So it must have happened on Saturday. So I missed it on Saturday. Grammy canceled the NHL All-Stars. I knew I didn't like the Grammys.
What, Taylor Swift gets 2 weekends now?
Hey, I don't even have look. I know there. I every time I turn on the Twitter machine, I see some type of drama going on online with Taylor. I don't get it. I'm
Yeah, I don't
someone
either.
that like I don't listen to pop music. I don't really care for any of her songs. Like I don't like throw on Taylor Swift tracks and like jam out. But I don't understand like the hate. I respect her as a musician. She is incredibly popular. It's not like this is Adele we're talking about. This is someone that's like, I don't get it. I don't understand why people are hating so much. I don't root for the Chiefs even.
Yeah, well, I guess we can probably call Nvidia the Taylor Swift of stocks because this thing's about to hit 7, and I have no idea why.
Actually, 13, we talked about not knowing where the top was on Nvidia, and one of the things that you had said, we had a gentleman that was trading this on a 600 break earlier in the happy hour, closed it out at like 650, something great like that. You had said you wouldn't even be shocked if this went to 1,000, given what we were saying. Now I know you said that. I know you said that tongue in cheek. I know you said that tongue in cheek.
No, Zoltan said 1,000.
Zoltan, excuse me.
Yeah, and I don't think he was tongue in cheek. I think that was a real thought of his that it could go to 1,000. I at first I was like, well, maybe it could, maybe it couldn't, but the more it keeps making these new highs, the more I think it's entirely possible. FDMT still going. Oh, is DWAC finally moving? There it is. Got up to 44.
There's your pop and DWAC. That curl is going to continue here.
Oh, yeah.
That curl is going to continue here. By the way, Jay Rice, who normally pretty much just deals in reality, saying for NVIDIA, I think 900, 950. So all jokes aside here, and 13, it was not my intention to misquote your price target, mix it up with Zoltan's. But you're talking about, doesn't Rosenblatt have an $1,100 price target on this? I'm pretty sure that they do. I'll go ahead and check that here. Jay's telling you 900. No, there are other price targets out there at 1,000. Stock is ripping. We're at about 700. This is not even that far away. This has come so far so fast. That's my big problem with these. SMCI is the exact same way.
Yeah,
So you guys are talking about vocal ranges and singing ranges. I don't even know what that is. Mystery man, I don't even know how to judge that. Born, you're saying it's a psyop. Yeah, I've heard some of that stuff too. I don't know. As far as the whole political thing, Taylor Swift makes her entire career about singing about making bad choices with men. Now you're going to listen to what she has to say politically? That something doesn't add up here. I don't know. Enjoy the music for what it is. Let her and Trav be healthy. Happy. I don't really see the big deal here. I'm just trying to watch football.
Yeah, y'all are talking about something that doesn't make me a single penny.
Yeah, I just don't get it, Joe. Oh man. Let's keep rolling through here. We'll see what ends up happening. We can break it down afterwards. Maybe this means that the Gatorade color will be red, and the prop and all the Gatorade's going to be red. We got San Francisco. I don't know.
Okay.
BRTX looks like we got stopped out of that on the pull. Didn't end up working. That's okay. FDMT, that was the big one here. The wild one should have taken that one.
Camp's still looking pretty decent. Got some size at 380. We break through that. $4 is the next target, I think. Yeah, I think we've been talking about $4 as being the next target for that anyway. What is still moving? Looks like VLCN is trying to curl.
VLCN, maybe if it takes out the VWAP here.
Rail Vision is back testing that 1375.
Yep, there we go.
This might be getting support at that level here.
Rick saying I'd rather get my political advice from a teenager than a celebrity. Oh man, that's cold-blooded, bro. The celebrities have no idea what they're doing.
Did you just play a cold-blooded sound?
Oh yeah, dude. That drop. Oh, dude, absolutely. That's one of my favorite ones ever. Dave Chappelle's Rick James, Cold Blooded. Are you kidding me?
Cold Blooded.
It's one of my favorite of all time, dude. As Mark Twain said, if you don't read the news, you are uninformed. If you do, you are misinformed. Sorry about muting myself. Office assistant, what are you doing? Are you causing trouble today?
Oh, wow. BRTX really breaking down.
Hey, your first stop is your best stop. We tried it. It didn't work. Boy, this is a rough day across the board here.
You know, it's funny how I've been wanting to get into IDAI for so long, and I finally got some, and I'm only up slightly because this thing is just so unnoticed. It's just, it's practically.
Oh, you got your fill. Yeah, we talked about this one. So you must have got your fill last week then.
Yeah.
Nice
just
job
have to wait
patient
for it.
On that.
Thanks. I just have to wait for it to, get noticed. This could be another iNod. Courtesy of
iNod really struggling today, by the way, though. I don't know if you saw that. You're getting ready to load back up on this one. iNod here really selling off.
That looks tasty. Fill my orders, iNod. Fill my orders. So BRTX is down at the 200 EMA on the 5-minute, and it might be getting some support. I'm not interested in trading this. I'm just kind of mentioning that.
AAOI, this was a mover from last week. Looks like this one's kind of slowing up here.
I feel like it's just a little bit, light today.
Everything feels light. That's a really good way of describing it, 13. I'm watching some of these stocks here. Even some of these stocks that moved down out of the open, it seemed like a light move down. Tesla.
Oh, did we just lose you, Brian?
Ferocious of moves. No, it looks like we had an internet snafu there. You can hear me now, right?
Yes. And
yeah, okay. So
ahead.
Tesla here, this looks to be the biggest move. Tesla down 3.5% here. If we take a look at the inverse, Netflix, which looked like it was going to be real strong out of the open here, gave a lot of that back. We're about flat here. Netflix up less than 0.5%. So to your point, yes, the light, it feels really light here, 13. It doesn't feel like there's a ton going on. Oh, and everything's normal though, because Portillo's pounding the lows here. I got to be honest. I'm really, really close to making the rounds and apologizing for Portillo's. It's been a multiple year wait on a store expansion, and the management has just underperformed everywhere they could have. At some point, you're going to have to start thinking about taking a loss and moving on. Not yet, though.
The Crow says mark pumping. So yeah, that's how you know that the market's all is right with the market when the market is pumping. I looked at BTI, that Smoke Tuna mentioned, BTAI. That is, it has a nice, it had a nice move down out of the gate. Now it's recovering. If we get to the supply that we're at right now, it'd be see some more upside in that one for sure. GRDI, no, I think maybe we're done with that one. Camp kind of just hanging out in this area for the past 15 minutes. Rail Vision right off of the 1375, and it's probably going to go higher.
DWAC at highs here. This was a great call that this was going to keep moving here, and this is still going to be in play.
Let's see. I can bring up DWAC. Okay, so we got the 45 and through. Yeah.
FDMT, great target there, Jay, on that 35. It really kind of stopped there and took a break. Yeah, Bernhard, that's basically it on Portillo's. I really do. I mean, and here's the other thing, Bernhard. This is a Chicago institution, right? This is a Chicago institution. There is no better place in the world to get Italian beef than Chicago. Portillo's, they really have amazing food, and they've been a huge part of my childhood and everything. But it's just this expansion that they're trying to do, and the current management team, they just aren't any good. There's really no results to speak of, and we're in a results-based business, and it's only a matter of time before you just can't take it anymore. Food's good here, just the stock not good to own, just not good to own.
Let's take a look at some other things here to see what we can gather from the market price action. I noticed that the SPY is down to not down, but it's off its open. Just trying to get an idea of if it's worth picking up something for a trade right now. Well, there goes Camp, all the way up and through 4. That's what we were looking for.
I'm looks like I'm having trouble. There we go. Here's Camp. Nice little pop through that view app.
Yeah, now it's going to probably try to get up to the pre-market highs of 484. Next target.
Market moving down here. Interestingly enough, on that pop, everything across the board down. All the indices down. Looks like we are going lower here today.
Yeah, it's giving me pause to get into some of these things, because when the market's overall coming down, then there might be some quicker exiting in some of these moving names that we're trading than we usually would see. I'm just being a little bit more cautious today because, like I said, it feels light. Yeah, a lot of these things that we were looking at this morning just not holding up.
Hi, office assistant. Goodbye. Okay. Haven't checked the Twitter streets yet, but I'll do that here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You go ahead and just keep going lower, Zim. I want to buy your weakness.
Yeah, and I don't see, by the way, I don't see anything encouraging here on Twitter yet. So let's get back to the scanner here. Let's see how GRDI was. Nope. Looks like that was primed and broke down instead of breaking out. KPTI, we took a look at this one here earlier. This actually holding up here. Keep KTPI on your watch list. Maybe if we move back up towards 123, definitely see some size here, 125, 126. Jay sent me a funny tweet.
Oh, yeah, guys. March rate cut. I think that's what the market is anticipating now, is that it's kind of off the table. There is some, there are some investors that still think that we might get a rate cut in March, but I'm with you. I don't think that's happening. And May and June, probably not either. Maybe, but I think July is the next realistic one to be looking forward towards.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're probably right, Jay. It looks like that tweet. Looks like I'm going to have to do some digging on that one, but I will check that out. Can you riddle asking about Mira? I guess I could take a look at that. We haven't looked at Mira here today. MIRA. That is a $1 stock that is ripping to the upside here. This is a nice move here.
Yeah, it looks
Smoke Tuna, good morning.
Good. Needs to pull back though, like it's doing now. Yeah, just looking for some setups, folks. FDMT might be getting ready to make its next move.
At 35 level. Hey, Mike. How's it going, Easy Mike? Hopefully your weekend was excellent. It's great to see you again.
All right, Zim, what are you going to do for me? You're going to go. It's under 13 now, so Zim is under 13, so I'm just kind of looking for areas to add.
Ooh, you know what? I'm going to get a starter here right away. Starter of 50 shares right here. Looking to add another one, especially if we keep coming in. Thank you for the alert there, 13. We talked about this one. We talked about the levels to look for on this one quite a bit.
Rail Vision might be getting ready to go here again if it can break 1460.
Rail Vision, this still strong here, Rail Vision.
Yeah. Be careful, this thing's whipping all around. I'm sure Lynn and Randy are going to be waiting to see if they can get some shares to short from their broker.
On Rail Vision,
I'm so amazed at that.
Lynn and Randy also might be waiting for a potential bounce spot here on Tesla. Tesla continuing to move towards the lows here. Looks like we're bouncing off that 180 level. Interestingly enough, too, when we take a look at this 3-minute MACD setup, perhaps that MACD is starting to kind of come back in the histogram. Maybe those lines starting to curl up. Maybe that's wishful thinking. Let's see if we get a potential buy area here in Tesla at 180.
There goes Rail Vision. Through 1460 and up and away. Still have 1560 as my next target. Probably get some resistance on the 15 psych level, but 1560 is the next level I have.
This Tesla sure looks like this actually wants to kind of move lower here on Tesla. Tesla Q, Ryan. TLSQ. That's the bear ETF. Does this thing still trade? Yeah, sure does. Sure does. Apple at the highs. Interesting. Look at this Apple reversal here. What do you make of this?
Oh, let's take a look.
Yeah.
A reversal at the highs. So I have 188 was one of the levels I had, and 180 is the next. So I was looking for maybe some trading in a price range between that 180 and 188. I still have to believe that Apple's coming in, just because that whole Provision headset. I don't think that. I mean, I could be completely wrong about this, because every time they come out with a new product, it just seems to have that following. It gets the attention and people end up buying it. But when I look at what Meta's done with their headset, and they still need content, they still need things that are going to make it attractive for people to buy. Mm-hmm. What does Apple have? What kind of content do they have for their Provision headset? I mean, how many games are on there? Is it just going to be one of those things where you just put it on and watch movies? I'm not sure I get the appeal, and I'm not sure there's going to be enough buyers of that. And I think they may have wasted a lot of R&D on that.
Well, see here, so I'm with you on a couple of things there. First of all, I don't know how many buyers there are, especially for the headset the way it is now at the price point it is now, right? The only people that you're going to really get there are the people that live on the bleeding edge of technology. And I mean bleeding edge intentionally. And then obviously you have the influencers. Influencers are kicking up more using this. I mean, they don't pay for things. Your question about the content, I think, is the really sticky thing, right? Like what kind of content are going to keep people coming back to these? What kind of content is going to make you want to wear goggles around your head for prolonged periods of time? I mean, like everyone else, I saw the picture of a dude crossing the street in San Jose wearing his goggles. And it's like, it's only a matter of time before those people end up getting hit by cars, and then they're no longer out there. So I just don't know, what kind of, I don't know where this is going to go. And I don't know if we can even answer that part of the equation without the content side of the equation being built up. To me, this just seems like a tool in its infancy that's just overpriced right now.
Yeah, Smoke Tuna. I mean, he mentioned he wants Vision Pro to do trading with unlimited screens. The Metaverse, their Quest, they have a thing called virtual desktop. Same exact thing. Mm-hmm. I absolutely agree. That's a great idea. I don't know how long you've had one of those things on your head, but I feel like you will enjoy it at first. It might be fun, but after a while, it does really, for some people, it is taxing on the eyes.
RVSN breakout here, by the way. RVSN continuing to break out. We actually have more room up here on RVSN as well. Keep that in mind. Great shot, Robert. Great shot, Crow. Thanks for being on top of that. RVSN moving here. Anyway,
just interrupt me whenever stuff like this happens, because this is way more important.
And market pulling, really all the indices at the lows here.
Well, it's making my SQQQ work out pretty well. I bought some on Friday.
And Tesla down here to 180. That was a good buy on that SQQQ.
Yeah, I was going off. I was looking at the Qs, and I was looking at NVIDIA, and I was like, man, everything this looks so toppy. So I decided to start a position.
Yep.
I wish I had picked up Real Vision when I was like, oh, it might be going here for 1560, blah, blah, blah. Didn't take that leap. Looks like Camp is making some not so enticing wicks, but it's looking like it wants to go higher, but I just don't know about this one either. Rail Vision, man, look at that thing go. You get any fills there on your short, Lynn and Randy? I know your broker lets
MOR halt. Oh my God, big halt
on MOR. What's that one about?
It's just a big pop. This thing popped over $1, halted to the upside.
Oh, let's see what that news is about. It might be worth looking at. Is this like an acquisition? What is this? Oh, they're getting acquired. And they're unhalted.
Okay, so that was halted for news pending there. Let me see if I can get some more info on this. Novartis, excuse me. Oh, wow, that's a big difference. Novartis AG in advanced talks to acquire.
Yep.
Okay. So this hasn't even been confirmed yet.
Yeah, we don't know for how much.
Yeah.
So
that's moving pretty big here, though. This is just a trading. This is just a gamble. I can't. Mm-hmm. This is just a gamble here.
Oh, but it's Monday. Sorry, I'm just being a jerk now.
Yeah, no. It's you're totally fine.
Looks like Real Vision's going to try to make another push. It's over 16 again. 1730 is what I have next for a level
on Rail Vision.
Mm-hmm. We got up to 1645.
Yeah, we've been covering Jay. We've been covering that one at length here, right? Solar, the high interest rates not conducive to solar. You're seeing that here on TAN. Jay mentioning here 3-year low being printed here on TAN. At some point, this is going to be something that is back in favor, but until we have some clarity on those rates. And when I say clarity, I don't mean people saying, oh, yeah, we're going to be cutting again in March here. I mean actual clarity. Solar, to me, not an easy trade at all. And I mean, I guess unless you're going to play it short here. Rumble took a tumble. Randy, you probably stayed up late spending time on that one.
Why is the rum gone?
Oh, 13, you have the same laugh as Elon Musk.
I do? That's weird.
Evidently, per Crow, you do. Now, do you have the same bank account? Because that would be sweet.
No, but I also don't have a judge trying to take 56 billion away from me either.
Oh, okay, well said. KPTI 13, man. You always have the one-liners. KPTI here. We talked about this one earlier. Here, it looks like this might be breaking the highs. Lynn and Randy, you guys have a good sense of humor. That makes it fun. So FDMT, we talked about this one earlier. Jay did a masterclass on trading this one earlier. We're back down at the VWAP. What are we thinking here? I think we got another move here in FDMT. 35 was going to be your highs. Let's see the actual print. Actually closer to 36. Looks like this traded up towards 36. Looks like it's bounced off the VWAP here.
I think it would be a no if we start closing these 5-minute candles underneath 33. As long as I think 33 is the level we need to hold.
Hold 33. Okay, fair enough.
All right, just looking to see if Camp's going to make another move here. It might.
Tesla looked like maybe it's bouncing off that 178 level, so 180 providing really no support for it. Went right through that. We'll see if it ends up bouncing here.
Zim had a nice bounce off 290 or 1290.
Yeah, it sure did. That was a good ad down there. That was really, really timely alert by the 13 alert system. I mean, You called it as soon as it was breaking 13. That was our entire trade plan there. I was like, here we go. Who even needs the set alerts?
KPTI. There we go.
Did it break that top? Yep.
Jonathan Cooper. Oh, yeah. I think he was the one that mentioned it, right? Looks like it.
Yeah, I think Crow might have mentioned this one earlier too.
Yeah, somebody else mentioned it before him. Then I, that the credit goes to you. But I that's the last one I saw say something about it. Looks like Real Vision's coming back in. We're back beneath this 1560 level. Well, I haven't been able to capture a whole lot because I just keep talking about it. But
yeah, I'm still in the camp of what you were talking about earlier, 13, where it just feels light. Like it doesn't feel like this is one of the days where you want to kind of go after some of those moves. And to that point here, Elon saying very cautious about buying dips here today.
I feel that. I mean, look at the SPY.
Jay, I'm heading down to the Waste Management Monday qualifier after the close today. Okay, cool. Well, let me know how that is. Looks like I actually might have a suite for Friday, but I have to call and finalize that stuff. Stay dry down there. Apparently, it's supposed to rain in Arizona until I leave.
Yeah, just looking at some of the news. Apparently, the Fed's Goolsby is, talking. Or was talking.
That's a shame. That guy is an absolute. I mean, look, I'm not trying to. I shouldn't even say anything.
Well, it does seem like he's making the market move a bit. Real Vision looks like it's trying to get going again. This thing can just do whatever it wants.
Yeah, when the junk, this is a really good call here, Smoke Tuna. We talk about this on Happy Hour a lot. When the junk of junk starts moving, it's not the day to trade. BRTX coming off bottom. So we just spent all morning flushing stuff.
I gotta take another look at Boeing. Where'd that end up? Did we go down enough? Or is it still holding up? Well, down a little bit more than 2% and kind of trying to bounce. We'll see. If they can get back above the 20-day SMA, it'll be good for the stock.
GRDI, this continuing to break down. CAT, this is one of the winners we talked about earlier. Even that's come back in. CAT had earnings here this morning. McDonald's was the other one that had earnings here this morning. We gave everything up and have moved lower here on McDonald's.
Looks like DWAC couldn't get any 5-minute candles to close above 45. Interesting, given the person this is trading around.
Yeah, this is nasty. Everything is down. Maybe this is the start. I got literally everything I'm holding except for IDAI is down. Every one of my holdings. Sorry, in my main account here, Zim is actually up for my buy. Okay. That's a good call. But everything else that I'm holding for a swing, everything is down. This is not a good day.
Yeah, like I'm looking at RVSN, and as much as I would like to try to play this, I just don't feel good about getting into it because of the way things are going in it with the rest of the market. Like, I feel like I would get trapped if I tried trading this right now.
Boeing hasn't even tested that 200 level yet.
No. Like I said, that about them finding the issue and not the FAA or another airline or something. That probably is one of the big reasons why it's not going down further. But still, it's not good news.
Jonathan Cooper mentioning that all the Bitcoin plays are down. Bitcoin, of course, rolled over from its highs here this morning. Tell you what, this might be, this might be one of those days where you just kind of sit on, just wait for things. I mean, look, if you guys have something, I'm definitely willing to look at setups here. All right, I'm definitely looking to look at setups here, short side, whatever. But I mean, it doesn't feel great here today. This is rough day.
Yeah. So one of the things I'm going to be watching today, are the ones that have been going sideways and continue to go sideways for the not like they've been going sideways for weeks, but just going sideways today. There have been a number of stocks that just do that after they have some price action in the morning. They go a little bit sideways for consolidate throughout the day, and then they just absolutely rip. So I'm going to be looking at those consolidating ones for a later move. I think that we may get that. Rail Vision trying to push up, but I just don't have that good feeling right now. And it's if it's going to 1730, then wonderful. If you traded it, great. I'm not going to take this risk right now.
Boeing looks like it's trying to move up here. That's the only thing. Rail Vision, I guess, looking strong here.
Yeah, Jay, more is giving more. Absolutely. That thing's up to 1450 now.
Man,
let's see. This is the one.
DRB 1 sec 13.
Sorry. Oh, no problem. Yeah, the late day moves. Well, it's something that we've been. Oh, I'll take a look at BTA. It's something that we've been seeing with some of these is that once they kind of just consolidate for a number of hours throughout the day, they finally get that attention and everybody just piles in at once. So BTAI, we're coming up to that supply level. If we can break through this and get from about 336 to about 345. That's about where the supply area is here. If we can get through that, we could see some real big upside from BTAI, in my opinion. Looks like MIRA is trying to get going here. This one could make new highs if the volume comes in. But these guys, the whole broader market is just kind of soft right now. I feel like if we get some of these up moves really fast, that's just going to come right back in just as quickly. LEAS, there's another old girlfriend. Let's take a look at that one. Look at that go.
All right, sorry about that, 13.
No worries. We're on LAES again. This thing is just ripping again. It's getting some. It didn't rip out at the open, but we started getting volume gradually. About 20 to 30 minutes later.
This is a trader we're familiar with on LAES.
Oh yeah, this is. Just trying to see if any of these that we were talking about this morning are going to come back. It's interesting that we've had so many days where the things that we were looking at early in the morning on our scanners ended up working out pretty much for the entire live trading session. Today, not so much. Only had a handful of these. Like Rail Vision, still trying to get up and stay above 16.
I don't feel good about trading that one though, man. I don't feel good about buying anything here today. This is
same.
What?
Same
or Zim? Okay, I thought you said Zim. I was like, well, yeah,
no, but
that one's been all right. You found that one been all right.
I gotta look up GUR here because there you go. Yeah, Smoke Tuna was bringing up GRRR. This one's this is one of those under $1 penny stocks.
We've traded this one before too. This was over $1 last time we traded it.
Yeah, if Tony the Tiger was trading this, he'd be saying it's great, and it's about to break 75 cents here. If it does, I mean, I don't even want to trade this to be honest, but if it does, the volume could end up pouring in here, and this could go to $1. But trade it at your own risk. Still waiting for INOD to get under 10. I would love for it to get under 10.
Only 8 cents away. It looks like you're going to be getting that today.
I certainly hope so. Yeah, just
rolling through tickers here. And look at Tesla, man. Look at Tesla. No bounce at all. This just continuing to pound the downside here in Tesla. Markets don't look great either. All the indices took a leg lower. I have a high tick print on my tick chart. How about that?
I probably should start making some new levels. 180 was the big level I had for Tesla, and we bounced off that from earnings, came back up and found resistance at those 194, just a little bit above 194 in those areas there. Now we're going breaking down some more. Didn't they have some news this morning that didn't really work out in their favor? I believe I saw Randy mentioning that.
Bring that up here real quick. So here you go. Cybertruck Aero wheel cover deliveries reportedly halted by Tesla amid sidewall wear concerns. So that is the header here. So it looks like a specific set of tire or wheel covers. What happened? The Aero wheel covers designed to extend the Cybertruck's range have led to significant wear on the tire's sidewalls. These custom tires created by Goodyear, and here, I can actually bring this up while I'm reading it, created by Goodyear specifically for the Cybertruck, have specialized sidewalls intended to align with Aero covers.
Well, that makes me want to see what Goodyear's doing, and they're down almost 3.5%.
I was going to say, yeah, Goodyear tire, that's ticker GT.
Mm-hmm.
The cover, composed of hard plastic with softer rubber ends, were designed not to touch the tire during normal driving conditions. However, the vehicle's weight caused the tire to morph and come into contact with the cover's rubber ends, resulting in early wear. So this, to me, seems like a design flaw that has to do with the weight of the truck. I'm not sure how quickly you get this resolved either. That's the other thing. Now, Tesla being down here 5.5% is one thing. 13, you already kind of alluded to it. To me, this almost sounds like this is going to be worse for Goodyear. Because are they going to still be able to use those tires that they did specifically for Tesla? I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, I mean, this is news to me. So that's my initial thought, is that Goodyear might have some. This might be a big headwind for them, but it's they sell other tires to other companies. And they're not these specialized ones that they need for the Cybertruck. It's probably going to hit both companies, but I imagine it's going to hit Tesla harder.
Okay.
Just because if they don't have the right tires to sell on their trucks, are they going to sell their trucks?
Probably not. No. I mean, maybe people get them just for I don't know. I don't know. I didn't like the Cybertruck from the beginning. This little catalyst has no impact on me because I thought the truck was not worth it to begin with.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the big thing that pulls the stock down for a period of time, is that the Cybertruck just isn't well received.
Yeah. Yep. Stock price continuing to pound the lows here on Tesla. If anyone has a potential buy spot on Tesla, we can take a look at it. To me, though, I'm not sure. And here's the other thing, GRDI, we talked about this one. This has done nothing but breakdown from the VWAP. Here's Tyson. Remember, we talked about Tyson having good earnings here this morning, really kind of trading up. Well, look, Tyson's given back the entire leg that it took out of the open here. We'll see if this actually comes back towards what I had, a 56.5 here. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it's going to have a hard time getting over 60 in the short term. I have 59.38. That was the 2022 low. I have that as a level for them to get over, and I just don't have confidence that they're going to be able to do that as of yet. I think we need to come in and test those 50 and 200-day SMAs before we start breaking through those levels again and staying up there. That's just my thought.
Real quickly here, Jonathan Cooper saying 155 on Tesla. Here is the chart here on Tesla. So Jonathan, I think you're right on there, right? I think this low right in here that we'd be testing, I got that from 153 up to 155 in that little area in there. I think that's probably going to be your next area of support if Tesla can get down there. Beneath that, we've got this at 102. So maybe even 100. If it can get back down there, that would be something, wouldn't it?
That'd be a pretty wild double bottom.
Would you sell Tesla on the wheel cover news? Now, this is an interesting question here, Richard, because I don't think so. I don't think so. And here's why I say that. If you're a long-term holder, your thesis does not revolve around the wheel covers. It revolves around Tesla being a tech company. They seem to be having trouble with one of their products right now. 13, we did a really good job of just kind of breaking it down. Maybe this isn't going to be a whole lot. I don't know what the plan is. Definitely a near-term negative, but I don't think I'm selling my stock on this news. Now, if I'm short-term trading this, yeah, I mean, but I'm probably already stopped out of it given the move that it's had here today. So no, I don't think I'm selling it if I have a long-term view, and I don't think I'm selling it if I have a short-term view because I likely already ran into my stop-out point.
I think Tesla's, a good day trading vehicle. I haven't held Tesla for a long period of time, since 2021, when it was still making new highs, going through stock splits, when it had a lot of investor activity and attention. These days, I don't even think I would want to hold it. It's not really, fitting the bill of a value company, because it really isn't. They don't do dividends. They don't do buybacks.
Definitely not.
They don't add any value to the stock by putting cash back into the company. They just they just spend it. I just don't look at it as any more than a trading vehicle, if you will, right? For the time being, just because it seems the whole space is out of favor, and a lot of you are bringing up really good points about their batteries, their weight. It's not hitting all the marks it needs to in order to be something that replaces internal combustion engine vehicles right now.
Carmen saying Tesla's buy spot is 0. Should find some support down there. We'll see.
No, I think they have other things going for it, but I don't think that this is a justifiable price.
Yeah, I'm not in a hurry either. I'm not clamoring to get my hands on it for the tech company angle. I'd want to short it on its car company angle. I don't think that the car is great. I don't think EVs are great. I think there's a lot of hype included in EVs. The autopilot thing is a complete disaster. QN here saying that it crashes Tesla. To me, I don't, not my thing. Not my thing.
I think EVs are going to be absolutely phenomenal. Just not right now. I don't like the batteries. Yeah. There's a lot of things about them that I just don't like right now. But
the cold snap across the Midwest really kind of woke some people up. That's for sure. RVSN at the highs here.
Yeah, it is. Jeez, this thing. And it's probably going to go run up to 1730 here because we're about to get an EMA crossing. I'm not going to chase it. I just want INOD to keep going down. And I want Zim to keep going. Well, I just want Zim to keep doing its thing.
Of the Mag 7, Tesla is the most broken of them. Indeed.
Oh, absolutely.
Indeed.
Think of the Mag 7. They're the ones that have the most questionable growth prospects.
Yep.
I mean, I think Netflix is just undoubtedly the leader in streaming. I don't think it's really got anybody that can compete with it. I mean, you have Disney, but they've got big content problems. You got Paramount, you got Warner Brothers, you got Comcast. I don't think any of them are really able to put out the quality of content that Netflix is able to right now. And, Netflix isn't really making fans of beloved content upset like some of these other streaming companies are. Just look at Halo, for example.
Yeah. That's actually a really good point, 13. Really good point.
LAES might be setting up.
Yep. Nope. Sorry. Talk over you there. Market taking another leg lower. So we took a leg low into the lows. We attempted to bounce for 5 or 6 minutes, and now we're taking another leg lower here. This market coming in here today. Easy Mike saying SOXS finally. So let's talk about some of those inverse ones. The buy on Friday. If you bought any of these on Friday near the close, you are even now. So given this move here, you're just back to even. Looks like this really kind of sold off in the pre-market. By the way, on some of these that have these really small price like SOXS, these are going to be better trading vehicles when these things reverse. And we see this all the time. When they come in, they get this low, where they reverse split them, they'll trade a lot better. Coin getting spanked. There, we talked about that Bitcoin move, complete reversal from the highs here earlier this morning. Someone earlier had mentioned coin versus gold and maybe a possible rotation. I'll tell you this, coin down with the market here. It does not look like people, or Bitcoin does not look like people are necessarily rushing into Bitcoin on this sell-off. The gold ETF, that's down here as well today. So this just looks like a lot of stuff kind of coming back in.
Yeah, I think with today, you have the dollar kind of rising a bit. That's leading to those kind of pressures. What are the rates doing today? Let me take a look here. Because the 10-year rates are up, then that's going to, yeah, it is. It's up to 415 right now. So those are going to add to the downside pressure in stocks.
I'm looking around here. All I see is downside pressure. CDIO getting mentioned here in the chat. It's a VIX day. So far, it sure is. I mean, we've seen some of these days look really grim in the morning and then turn around in the afternoon. So I don't want to be a Debbie Downer all day here. And like I said, we've seen some of this stuff before. So keep that in mind. But so far here, it looks like this market really wants to kind of take some of that off. And when we've talked about this being extended, right? We've mentioned this ad nauseum, the market and a lot of individual names being extended here.
Yeah, GRR did have a nice breakout. I was looking at that too. Getting above the 80 cent level.
15 minutes. We're going to be heading over to the Trader Bacon show. Redirect is already set. You folks don't have to do anything. 13. We got to make the most of these 15 minutes that we have remaining here today.
Okay, well, how do you want to do that?
I was going to say, I'm still trying to figure out a plan. So if I come up with something, I'll let you know.
Well,
sounds like you got a robot. Like you got a robot server back there.
That's my phone. You ever play Quake 2?
Quake 2, maybe, but a long time ago.
Yeah, it's an older game. That's just whenever you get an update to your mission, that computer comes on. Says its thing, so I just use that for my notification. I like to do that because I don't like the tones that come with phones these days. I like to add my own. It's more fun. Anyway, back to the market.
I'm still looking for some stuff here.
I mean, it looks like LAES is getting ready to lift off here. It's like it's coming back, and this one might go. And I say might because, it just feels like this is one of those days where things are about to set up, about to make that move, and then the market pulls. So I'm being very cautious today. But I am liking the way my SQQQ is working.
Yep.
BEPER, Brookfield.
BE what?
Brookfield Renewable. She's talking to Easy Mike about
BEP,
I believe that's
ticker BEP.
I believe that's what she's referring to is this company. Let's see here. Yeah, folks, are y'all seen anything?
No, FDMT coming in off the highs. I know I'm looking for long side setups here, but I don't see much of anything. Everything's really kind of coming back in. Even my relative volume scanner doesn't really have anything. I mean, it's got things like MOR on it, which has already really had its big move here. Mira, maybe check Mira. No.
Mira looks like it's going lower.
The penny stock.
Looks like BTAI might actually make its move.
ESPR, maybe. This is decent daily formation that we're trying to crack on ESPR. Maybe there's a spot. Well, yeah, we kind of took the spot from what, the 31st, January 31st. Maybe ESPR got a little bit of size at 233. Just looking for anything that I see moving out here.
We might get a move with DWAC. It's got a pretty decent flag set up.
We've already got we got one of those moves here. To your point, here is that bull flag that we're seeing here.
Yeah.
Maybe we do move out of the top of this. That's not bad, 13.
Yeah, it's just a setup that I see. Whether or not it plays out, in this tape right now, it's hard to say.
Smoke Tuna mentioning PCT.
I look at the SPY. We're under 491 right now. And yeah, it looks like 490 is going to be the support level of the day. If we don't hold that, then I'm not sure what's going to the market wants to do with the SPY. Looks like LAES is still going.
ON, maybe we'll take its VWAP here.
All this slow moving right now. Well,
gosh,
this is where I just kind of lean back a little bit.
Yeah, you know what? This is the time when you kind of want to fill in some of your knowledge gaps with research. We talk about PRs come out. Maybe you haven't gone through the whole PR yet. Maybe there's stock that you're looking for. You've got levels. This is the time to do some research here. There doesn't really seem like there's anything that, we actively need to be going after here. Man, everything is coming. Everything is getting hit.
Good. You need a little bit of this. We were just, the market was just too strong. We need some of this weakness.
Yeah.
Just a little bit though. Just be ready for some pain.
Yeah,
we've been absolutely extended here.
Well, that's the thing. I'm like some of the things that I'm in, there have already been pain. Like we were just talking about Portillo's. Like I'm at the point where I don't want to take much more of this, man. Like I might have to start shaving some stuff up because if we really get one of these global sell-offs, a lot of these smaller IWM stocks, they're going to $1. They're coming in big time. Like I'm just saying, I'm not trying to scare people away out of their positions, but man, oh man, I don't even have stuff like Nvidia. I mean, I obviously have some Apple long term, but I have a price cost basis of $20 on that at this point. It's just, none of these other positions, like, I don't know, man.
Well, this is why I'm
I don't know.
I'm more interested in these non-tech names. Like, when you look at some of the other sectors that have been really hit the past year or two, there's some names in there that are quite attractive. And, Tyson was one such name.
Yep.
They just absolutely got bad news after bad news, China exposure, having to shut down plants, one thing or the other, pulled down pretty nicely. And it's not a dead company. These are companies that, have profit and make money, generate cash flow. It's not going to be worth nothing. And it looked like a good spot to start adding when I didn't catch the bottom, of course, but I got pretty close. And I didn't even get everything I wanted out of that. I wanted more shares lower, but I didn't get that. So I just got what I could get. And that's one such company that's doing well. I mean, some of these other ones that were bottoming in October looked really good too. Those are doing all right. Some of the ones that are just out of favor, they end up rotating back into favor when they at the turn of the year or just before. They're seasonal, so it's always worth looking at and seeing what's beat up, what's got weakness, and if they're a good company, they pay dividend, they have good cash flow, I think it's worth picking them up. That's what I've been doing.
Yep, this is one of those areas. Make a list of the stocks that you think are strong and have good long-term premise. Come here, stop screaming at everybody.
It's the pain daily, weekly, or monthly. Well, that just depends on if I had enough medication, I guess. Now the pain is welcome. It's an old friend. LAES getting closer to that 255 level. Now, I do like buying on weakness, especially when they're good companies.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Wow, more given more.
And it's just no stop, just vertical.
It's going to be so bad when the actual amount that the buyout is when that's revealed, the amount that they're buying this out for.
Unless it's higher.
Unless it's higher, it's going to just absolutely hurt so many people buying at these levels. I don't know what it could be. To me, it's not worth the risk. And some people it is. And they're making money right now. So if they have their stops set high, they're making a good chunk of change. Looks like BTAI might be doing its thing. It's still pretty slow moving.
Rolling back over from those 35 highs. This has shown no strength here. Here's BTAI still kind of button up against that 340 spot on BTAI. Smoke Tuna mentioning GUR. This one continuing to rip here. So the penny stock.
Yeah.
When the penny stock junk is going, that might be it.
Almost at $1. KPTI. Yeah, the volume is just really light, and a lot of these that have some really good setups too. That's the concerning thing for me.
Yeah. Jim, good to see you this morning. Just throwing it out there. Hey, we'll take anything here today. Sim today below 50. It looks like it did print below 50, although it has just recently reclaimed that. Looks like it's got potential earnings later today after the close. Let's see what they replay or what they say here for earnings. This is actually run up into earnings. No position here for me, but you're watching Sim. I don't have a line on that. Zim on a ceasefire pullback.
Okay, so he's talking about the ceasefire between Houthis. No, I'm sorry, not Houthis. Between Hamas and Israel. So I guess they're trying to do some prisoner exchange. I don't necessarily think that's going to change anything as far as the Houthis are concerned. They're the ones that are firing rockets still.
Yep.
Maybe I don't have any news on that, so I'll have to read and double check. But if we're pulling back on that, that makes sense. We're not done though. Oh, it looks like DWAC tried to make that move back up to 45, and it got rejected. I know it's not going to give me my trade, it looks like.
It's early. That could easily still break down here.
Yeah, maybe once people start going to lunch, it'll break down.
All right, folks, we're going to be wrapping it up here in just a couple of minutes. Trader Bacon is next. Again, I will be out the rest of the week here, so no live trading. We will have content in its place, though, so be sure to check it out. The rest of the team still going to be doing their thing, still pre-market prep, still going to have all access and Powerball and Trader Bacon and all that stuff. So we're going to be back at it, though. Like I said, just taking some time off prior to the Super Bowl here. 13, you ready for this? Should we do Super Bowl predictions here real quick before we sign off?
I don't think I want to do that because I think that the San Francisco 49ers should have already lost in the playoffs.
Yeah, to Detroit.
I'm not Detroit or Packers. I don't think they look good in either game. I think this is kind of a Kansas City Chiefs story that we're seeing right now. I think they're going to probably end up taking it. It would fit with the theme.
Yeah, it makes me not even want to watch it. I mean, I'm so bored. I'm so bored of Kansas City and the Chiefs and all of this stuff. It's just like, it's not even fun to watch anymore. So looks like that's what we're getting here in the chat too. ADW, you look like you're betting KC.
I'll still watch it and yell
Yeah,
out all the
I'm gonna
things
watch it.
that I think they're doing wrong. I'm one of those guys that's always like yelling out the plays before they happen. Like, oh, you should have done that. That's me. So, I'm fun to watch the game. LES, that breakout, man. Oh God, that was such a good setup. If you grab that, congrats. But as far as the game goes, yeah, I'm just gonna watch and yell at the TV and drink alcohol.
Are you going to watch any of the commercials? You going to try to make any investment or trading decisions based on what we see in the commercials?
That's not a bad idea. Maybe I should.
I'll tell you
I should
what.
bring my notepad with me.
Well, you know what? I think what we ended
care,
up doing
John.
this last year. I think one of the things that we'll do is we'll probably end up talking about some of the most interesting. I mean, if we get another boring game too, the most entertaining aspect might be Usher's halftime show, prop bets, or commercials. So we might have to break that down here, see if we get any new investment ideas from some of those.
It's going to be the Taylor Swift Bowl special guest starring Usher.
I'm sure Usher's thrilled about that.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's absolutely thrilled about that. He's like, really, Baltimore? You couldn't have just taken care of Kansas City last week?
Sydney, if she misses the game, then Kansas City will probably lose.
I don't think she's going to, though. I think they did a lot of planning. I guess she's got some concert in Japan. She's flying directly to. Anyway, all right, folks. 13. Thanks again.
Absolutely.
You've done such a good job. You should take the rest of the week off.
Hey, you too.
Will do, folks. Stick around for Trader Bacon. We will see you. Stay green, stay safe, have a great week, and somehow enjoy the Super Bowl. I'm gonna get my man 13 out of here, and we will see you when we come back. So take care, everybody. Thanks.